Sunday, in the NBA, the explosive second-year man in charge, Derrick Rose and the Chicago Bulls, go up against the Atlanta Hawks and their sharpshooting swingman, Joe Johnson. Bulls, Hawks, up next.
It's the Chicago Bulls taking on the Atlanta Hawks. It's a fine Sunday afternoon for basketball. I'm Kevin Harlan here with Clark Kellogg, and we're proud to bring you the NBA on 2K Sports. Now let's take a look at the Bulls' opening lineup. Carlos Boozer and Joakim Noah, they're inside. Derrick Rose and Ronnie Brewer in the backcourt. And Dang. And for the Hawks, Johnson, Smith, and Horford are their front court. Crawford out there with Teague. Something you notice when you watch the Hawks, Clark, they might be one of the best teams at switching on screens, which takes a lot of discipline, a lot of communication.
We've talked about the athleticism of the Hawks wings, and that makes it very conducive to switching defensively when you've got guys that are similar size and also move their feet well. So I thought the Hawks did a good job with their defensive schemes in getting up into people and taking advantage of that athleticism.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Kevin, I had a chance to catch up with Coach Larry Drew. Right away, he told me that personally, he likes the challenge of taking on a team with the offensive firepower they have. He said, as a coach and hopefully as a player, it's fun because it forces you to think a little bit harder. And so many times that can translate into a special performance. Something we'd love to see, guys.
Thanks, Doris, reacting to the offense they're seeing out there.
Yeah, you can watch all the film in the world, but adjustments have to be made, and those are made on the fly.
And really, Clark, that's how a lot of NBA offenses work, creating mismatches by using screens like you were saying.
Yeah, and if you can limit the mismatches by switching, you're much better defensively when you can take a team out of what it wants to do at the offensive end.
After a disappointing 09 campaign for Dang, he came back as a force last season, Clark.
Well, with Luol Deng, it was the injuries that slowed him up, Kevin, the year before last, and it seemed like he was out looking to make up for all of the lost time, and he really stepped things up.
It's stolen by Smith.
He got too casual with the ball there, and it led to a steal.
It's Crawford on the wing. Crawford right side. He's covered by Rose. 5 on the clock. Crawford, no luck. And so here is Chicago. Taj Gibson's checked in for Chicago. Korver comes in for Ronnie Brewer. And it's the Bulls with the ball. Noah with a screen on Crawford. Takes it up. The shot is off, so the Hawks will take it the other way. Tom Thibodeau is the new head coach of the Chicago Bulls, who's been an NBA assistant, Clark, for the last 2 decades.
And he's been considered a defensive mastermind, and you see how the Celtics have played defense under his leadership, and you can't argue with that.
That is breaking coaching under Bill Musselman with the expansion Timberwolves back in '89. Here's Rose. 2:47 left in the first quarter. Here's Teague.
With that, they find themselves missing on 4 of their first 5 shot attempts. That's not a good start. Actually, it's a bad start for them.
Crawford with the ball. Here's Teague. Just 4 to shoot. Trains it for 3.
Kevin, that's just not good defense. You can't be giving players of his talent level looks like that. Come on now.
Like the Bulls with 28 wins a year ago in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, and Kevin, they went 24 and 28 the year before that, so progress is being made, but more improvement has to happen if you're going to be more than a perennial 8 seed.
Here's Crawford following the score by Luol Deng. Here's Teague. He's covered by Rose. Arcs it high. Here's Johnson. Nice D from Dang. So Clark, with the Bulls, what's missing for them? How do you get from a 7th or an 8th seed and move up a little bit?
Well, you've got to have an inside presence, Kevin. Boozer to pair up with Derrick Rose powerful presence inside.
Shot's good by Gibson.
You've got to close out on that mid-range jump shot.
Here's Teague. 1:22 left in the first. Smith outside. With the floater, and good as he lays that one up.
Those floaters are difficult to hit, but he made it look easy right there.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, Joakim Noah is known for playing with so much passion and energy. He said, I feel I'm in a really privileged situation, playing at the highest level, making money doing what I love to do. Not a lot of people get the chance to do that. That's why I really enjoy what I'm doing and always make the most of it. I owe that to the people who help me. Noah's zeal for life and the game, easy to see in the way he approaches it. Kevin?
Infectious enthusiasm, Doris. You see it every time he steps on the floor. So for the Bulls, Carlos Boozer's checked in for Noah. Clemens Watson in for Derrick Rose. Here is Watson. And Crawford picks him up defensively. And he makes the basket, so one free throw coming up as he'll try to make it a three-point play. He can't complete the three-point play. The Hawks leading. Now Teague. On the wing, Johnson. He's covered by Deng. The 10-footer. Again, the Hawks score.
He's just so gifted offensively. He's a tough guy to match up with.
Knocked loose.
He should leave those long bomb passes alone.
Screen by Smith. With the teardrop, and there's the bucket, good for two. Smith's got his second bucket. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Outside Deng.
I think this quarter particularly, we're seeing them having trouble keeping possession of the ball. Far too many turnovers right now. Couldn't can it that time, but you keep taking it to the rack like that, and good things will happen for you.
Shoots from 12. Watson with it. 1 second left. Shot's good by Gibson.
That's exactly the way you practice it. Hit the open man for the great look.
Some great action here as the first quarter concludes. Hawks lead by 3.
Yeah, their interior D has been terrific. They're throwing shots out of there left and right.
And we'll be back in just a moment. And off we go. A close game now entering the second quarter. Here's Teague. You know, for these Bulls last season, Clark, they had some drama in the locker room. Maybe people not seeing eye to eye in the front office and on the coaching staff.
Yeah, they certainly did. I would call it front office friction.
Yeah.
But yet, despite that, Kevin, good young talent. So whoever steps into that situation has something to work with.
On the court right now, second quarter for the Bulls. Derrick Rose and Ronnie Brewer in the backcourt. Carlos Boozer out there with Taj Gibson and Corver. Shots good by Boozer. Here's Teague. And here's Crawford. Here's Smith in Atlanta again with the bucket. Getting back to what you were talking about, despite all the front office turmoil with Derrick Rose at the helm, the future does look bright for this Chicago team.
Well, not only Rose, I mean, you talk about Joakim Noah, you look at Luol Deng, he's in his prime, Taj Gibson, an impressive first-year player, so the Bulls have an awful lot of material to work with.
And so here is Chicago, following the score by Josh Smith. That's good. Here's Crawford. Here's Teague. Johnson left side. Just 4 to shoot. Goes up, buries the short-range shot. Johnson's got 6 points.
He is an absolute beast off the low block. And whoever's guarding him, I feel sorry for him.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Kevin, with the addition of Jamal Crawford to the Hawks, it has made them even more potent offensively. Celtics coach Doc Rivers said they have Joe Johnson, and now they have Crawford as well, so they have 2 closers. That makes it really tough. It's very difficult to get stops against guys that don't need a play to score. Guys, the Hawks were able to keep both players for a second season. We'll see if this team can take the next step.
We will indeed. Thank you, Doris. Some interesting stats start to pop up when you look at the Hawks. They played the 4th slowest paced in the league last year. That kind of surprises me with all their athleticism.
Me too, Kevin. I mean, you would think they would be much more committed to playing at a faster pace, especially since they've got so many guys that would seem to thrive in that kind of offense.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Gibson. Dang comes in for Kyle Korver. And it's Watson in for Derrick Rose. Here's Dang. Al Horford with the rebound. Back to the Hawks pace that we saw last year. Why switch to a slower offense then?
Well, I think part of it was it helped them maybe limit turnovers. Sometimes teams aren't capable of playing efficiently and fast. And overall, because they are a young team, maybe a slower pace kept the turnovers down.
But you'll take energy anytime you can get it, won't you?
Yeah, I think I would. Yes, sir.
Here's Smith after Joe Johnson's score. Dang with it from the stripe. Again, the miss by Dang.
You got to expect more out of him here. He's had a lot of difficulty this quarter, which in turn is making it difficult for them to cut into this deficit at all.
Joe Johnson on the wing. He's got 8.
Way to distribute the basketball.
Bulls trail by 8. Now Watson. Outside Boozer. Over Smith. Kept alive. Here's Noah. Here's Watson. A miss 3. The Hawks leading by 8. Johnson outside. He dumps it off. Here's Teague. Deflected. And here's Crawford. Over Brewer. Crawford's shot is good. Crawford's got 6 points.
In the first, he had trouble hitting with any consistency. But here in the second, he's turned it around.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. And some changes for Chicago. Taj Gibson's checked in for Boozer. Korver comes in for Ronnie Brewer. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for C.J. Watson. Here is Rose. 1:15 left in the second. Jamal Crawford, the 6th man of the year last season. A nice piece of hardware for him in what was a spectacular year.
Yeah, he had perhaps the best season of his career. He improved his shooting percentages, and that was always a problem for him because his shot selection dragged it down. And then he also was on a playoff team for the first time.
Now, here is Smith after the miss by Luol Deng. It's blocked. Now here's Rose. Now Gibson over Smith. Shot's good by Gibson. 8 points for him. Here's Crawford. 8-point game. Smith outside. Covered by Noah. Smith's shot is good. Smith's got 8 points.
What an acrobatic finish. I love the dunk, but you got to give it up for that kind of layup.
Outside Rose. Nails the easy jumper. Rose has got his second basket of the game. Al Horford.
It's hard to make a pinpoint pass from that far away. He couldn't get a hold of it.
And that concludes the first half.
Tremendous output from Johnson. 10 points, and he's gotten his hand on one shot for a block. Boy, he was locked in that whole half.
We'll be right back here from Atlanta.
And it's been a great game out in Atlanta. Thanks so much for joining us for the HP Halftime Report. A good one in progress for Atlanta. They've been in an incredible rhythm offensively. If you're wondering why it's dark in the gym, they've shot the lights out. Joe Johnson playing effortlessly. He's got 10 points. He's not missed many shots so far. Everything's falling. And for the Bulls, they're still gutting it out. It's been a struggle so far. They broke slow out of the gates and haven't been able to get up to speed. Luol Deng, he's not had a good showing. An abysmal field goal percentage. The shot not cooperating. And that'll just about wrap things up for us. Thanks so much for watching. Now let's send you back to Kevin and Clark. I'm Damon Bruce, and we'll catch you next time.
And now the third quarter about to begin. Here's Teague. After so much losing, Atlanta has to be overjoyed to have a team who's in the...
Great vision on display there. The pass led him perfectly to the basket. That's how you do it.
At the line for the Hawks, Josh Smith.
The and one is good, so a three-point play that time.
You know, around the country, I think Josh Smith is known more for his dunks. But around the league and on the stat sheet, I think it's his defense that really separates him and allows him to stand out.
That's a great point. Here's Johnson. He's got 10. It's stolen by Rose. Brewer with the ball, and he slams it home. Here's the replay on the Sprite Slam Cam.
You could see his eyes get wide right there as he took it to the rack. He loves to finish that flush.
It is so comforting for a coach to have such a go-to guy on the offensive end.
Always, boy. It gives you a secure feeling, Kevin.
Here's Crawford. He's got 6. And here's Smith. Here's Teague. Johnson outside. He's covered by Deng. Clock at 4. Johnson, good. Johnson's got 12 in the game.
No way to argue with that shot. I mean, if you get it that close to the hoop, go up with it strong right away.
Pass to Deng. Now Smith defending. The baseline J. Deng can't get it to go. The Hawks leading by 9. On the wing, Johnson, covered by Brewer. Joe Johnson again. 14 points for him.
Well, he's really been big for their team, finding a way to consistently get it done on the scoreboard.
Outside Rose. Brewer with the ball. Tipped.
Your team doesn't need that mistake. You got to be efficient.
Here's Johnson. Again, the Hawks score.
These guys are putting on a clinic. They're playing with confidence, and their offense is really flowing.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. Marvin Williams is checked in for Josh Smith. The Bulls also changing it up. Kyle Korver, he's checked in for Ronnie Brewer. Here is Rose. Can't hit, so the Hawks will take it the other way.
Well, he can't believe that one didn't fall. Those are usually automatic.
Back to Williams. He's picked up by Deng. The open shot by Johnson. Carlos Boozer pulls it in.
Well, I was starting to wonder if they'd ever miss one. What a great start to this third quarter.
Korver. He's guarded by Johnson. That's good.
Now that's great court vision, Kevin. Even when he was about to shoot, he was still able to spot the open man.
Horford with the screen on Rose. Johnson outside. Lex loose for 3, but they'll get another chance. Crawford passes to Johnson. Picked by Horford. Over Noah. Joe Johnson again. Johnson's got 18 points. Some of the accolades and abilities you watch for with Atlanta, the Hawks tied Clark for the fourth best offensive rebounding rate in the NBA last season. A pretty nice category to thrive in.
Yeah, it's nice to get those extra shots, and you can do that when you have the length that the Hawks have on their roster, the athleticism. The wings do a nice job crashing the glass. So you're not surprised when you see where they rank in offensive rebounding.
Back to Dang. A strong finish to throw it down, and he'll go to the line for one more. That's on Marvin Williams.
Plays like that are what makes this league so great. He's a special player.
I don't care if you're a fan of another team. You have to admire someone, Clark, who can make those types of plays. Looking at who's out there now for the Hawks. Pachulia, he's checked in for Horford. And it's Josh Smith in for Joe Johnson. Taj Gibson's checked in for Chicago. And it's the Hawks ball. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Here's Smith. The shot, no good. Now Chicago takes it the other way.
Good job hustling here. I mean, making the extra effort. When you're down, you have to do all of the little things, Kevin.
And they do have a slight disadvantage on the boards.
That's his first personal foul. Second team foul. At the line for the Bulls.
That one is off.
Number 6.
No good at the stripe this time. Second misses also.
Well, he's had a tough time shooting the ball today. His percentage has been way down compared to what he normally does. I think that's a big reason that they're down.
With the floater and laying it in as that one falls through. Smith's got 13 points. And here comes Rose. Outside Dang. The dump off. Outside Rose. Pulls up from the elbow. The shot is off. So the Hawks will take it the other way.
Right now being held without a point in this quarter. Goose egg. Really struggling to find any kind of open looks.
Poked away. And so here is Chicago. Down by 12. Here's Gibson. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. 10 points for him.
He drew the D in and then kicked it out to the open man.
And here's Crawford. Here's Smith. And that's not going to go. We play through 3 and the double-digit game going on here. What can you say? Joe Johnson, an impressive effort here today.
Yeah, not flashy numbers, but his presence has definitely been felt out there. It's the little things, Kevin. He's getting them done.
The Hawks on top, leading by 10. As the fourth quarter gets going, let's swing it over to Doris Burke, who has our Sprite Spark report. Doris?
Hi, guys. Well, it was the stretch by the Hawks that garners the Sprite Spark today. They put the clamps on in the second quarter, and guys, that helped them go on this magnificent run.
Great, Doris. That big scoring run being a difference maker, Clark, in this game.
Well, it often comes in spurts, Kevin. Spurtability is what I call it, and that's what happened today.
Here's Rose. So with Boozer on the bench, here's the 5 for Tom Thibodeau right now. It's Gibson and Noah at the 4 and the 5. Derrick Rose and Ronnie Brewer in the back. And Corver.
They've really done a great job securing the rebounds, Kevin.
They got the advantage right now, Clark, +5. Back to Horford. From the wing. Jump shot is good that time. Here is Rose. Baseline jumper. Good.
Derrick Rose.
Explosive offense. These two teams have been going at each other this entire game.
Atlanta with the ball. 10-point lead. Noah against Smith. Now Teague. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. That one on Rose.
Tough interior defense means not allowing easy baskets. Good foul.
Shooting for Atlanta. Jeff Teague. Taking 2 shots.
And the first one drops. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Here's Rose. Right side Rose. On the mark from 16 feet out.
Despite his play, which has been stellar, they still find themselves on the short end of the scoreboard here. Someone else is going to have to help him out and step up.
Backing him down is Johnson. Crawford outside. And he nails the triple. And the Hawks lead by 13.
He loves that corner 3, Kev. That's a shot I've seen him make time and time again.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Well, guys, Tom Thibodeau had some advice for his team in that last timeout. He was clearly fuming. He told them, "You guys look like you're sleepwalking out there." He said, "I don't know if you rolled out of the wrong side of the bed this morning or what, but we've got to step up and wake up." Guys?
Making a switch here, the Bulls. Outside Dang. It's in!
He's been extremely active out there, and he has the stats to prove it. Terrific hustle.
And it's the Hawks with the ball. Pass to Horford. Easy shot. And Luol Deng pulls it down. One thing we've seen from these guys is excellent ball movement.
And I love the unselfishness. It's a joy to watch.
And that one's good, Boozer. Here's Teague. 2:44 left in the fourth. Here's Johnson. Defended by Gibson. Horford, no luck.
He's not giving an inch on defense. He really bothered that shot.
Watson with it. Shoots. Can't get it to fall from downtown.
Well, he got a good look at it, but he couldn't knock it down, Kevin. Those are the ones you typically remember, the wide open misses.
Here's Smith. Oh! And he dunks it through.
He's a bit short for the power forward spot, but his great leaping ability more than makes up for it.
Chicago calls timeout. They're behind by 11. 1:59 left in the game. Making a switch here, the Bulls. Rose is checked in. Here is Rose. Takes it up. And that drops in off the glass for 2.
No one really contested him at the basket that time, Kevin. He's just too good in there to leave the door open for him.
Let's go with a 3. And there's Joe Johnson on the assist by Crawford. 21 points for Johnson. Oh, and the jam by Rose.
This is one of the NBA's most skilled finishers, and it's not hard to tell why.
Well, he is one hard man for a defense to deal with. Now Johnson. Pass to Smith. It's Crawford on the wing. Johnson down to 5 on the shot clock. 3 on the clock. Again, the Hawks score.
Healthy lead, and with smart play the rest of the way, they should be able to win this.
Now here's Rose. The Wiener. Again, Chicago.
He's showing some signs of life here in the second after having a very forgettable first half.
Here comes Joe Johnson. It's Crawford on the wing. He's covered by Deng. Crawford, no luck. And here are the Bulls now. It's a 10-point game. Deng kicks to Rose. Pass to Boozer. The kick out to Deng. Kept alive. Boozer dishes to Rose. It's dumped off. Backing down is Deng. With the fadeaway, and that is good.
He's been getting after it offensively, but they're still trailing here. One guy can only do so much.
Horford with it. Crawford outside. Gets it to the fall. And the Hawks lead by 10. And so it's the Hawks taking care of business in this one. You know, Clark, every team has a bad night, and these guys might want to watch the tape of this game the next time they have a bad night to remind themselves how dominant they can be.
Well, this is one of those dreamlike games for a coach.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Brand Player of the Game, Joe Johnson.
American Idol, but I get by. Wish I could tour with fifth wheel bus. Back to the real world, time to wake up, film antifreeze. The land with big brothers bad to me. I got a blind date with destiny. I'm Mexican with an amazing race I get to be. No doubt, wickedly perfect. You're not a factor, making me nervous. I'm a survivor, collapse on the planet deserting. That's the word like a $10,000 pyramid scheme. Changing the face